As hypnofetishists, we love spirals, don't we? The feeling of focusing your mind solely and entirely on the center of this ever-twirling, moving object. The way the pattern pulls you in. The way focusing on the center seems to make everything around you begin to just fade away as your mind and your eyes become fixed, obsessed with this moving, swirling pattern. But you feel that pattern, don't you? It's more than a visual. It's something that begins to draw out this indescribable feeling inside you. What would it be like if instead of watching a spiral, there was a spiral inside your head? Maybe now we can create one together with my words. Already, perhaps there's a feeling of my voice being not just outside, not just around you. Of course, my voice is coming out of the headphones that you're listening through. But my voice is beyond the headphones, isn't it? My voice is somewhere inside. It's slowly blossoming inside your head, unfurling and awakening something in you. My voice, right at the center of your mind, right in the middle, the place that you can find if you go looking. But when you hear my words, it's so easy to locate where the center of your very self is, isn't it? You can hear my words as if they're drifting, not just from the things you can consciously access, not just the physical material world, but something beyond, something deeper than that. And as you begin to fixate yourself on how my voice spreads through you from the center of your mind, the way my words move inside your head, slowly at first, slowly making their way from that central point, moving outward, around you, as if my voice is beginning to just surround you, forming this pattern, this shape inside your head, like ripples through your mind. The way that my voice moves in circles out from here to here, to here, wider and wider, and then somehow drawing you in. And as you breathe, as your chest rises and falls down, my words move in your mind in that very same pattern, moving in and out, moving you down and down and deeper as that pattern begins to form itself in a feeling inside you. My control, tangible, as my words weave their way, wend their way in inevitable patterns, starting from the center and going out and around and down for me. And in this shape, in this wonderful, slow way, my voice rings around your mind, makes circles that encircle your thoughts, that ensnare them and make sure they're pushed away with the tracking, constant movement of the spiral of my words. Doesn't that feel so good? Wiping away the detritus inside your head, moving from right to left, and then left to right, round and around, down and down. And with this spiraling, encircling of your thoughts, there's nothing for you to do except drop for me, except focus on that feeling and drop for me, to feel my words weaving from the center and outward and round and round and down as you drop for me. That's right. Such a good, obedient thing you are. And you feel that pattern begin to just imprint on your mind, the same way a small river that drips and drops would form a channel through rock, worn away through constant movement. Your mind begins to be imprinted with the spiral of my words, and you feel yourself drawn to the center more and more, obsessed with the way my words make you feel, make you drop for me. The way my words continue to spiral around and around and down and down. And of course, the way a spiral moves, the way it always seems to be moving and yet focused on one point, that's just like your mind. Because occasionally you'll feel yourself come back to the beginning, or what you think is the beginning, and maybe as you become back to that beginning, you find yourself coming up, just a little bit. Feel yourself trying to clear your mind, maybe blinking your eyes, and then the spiral claims you again, claims you as you feel it tracking round and around in your mind. You feel it squeezing tight around your thoughts as it draws you in, as it draws you down, as it moves round and around and down, and you drop for me. That's right. And you're caught in that pattern, in that ever-moving loop. Can you feel that inside your head? The way it just moves along the same way the moon would move the tide and draws you to me every time, draws you deeper every time. And it feels so good to be looping through that pattern for me, looping through that spiral, spiraling further into my control. When we spiral, it seems like we're out of control, doesn't it? And you now are out of control, and in mine. You've left behind your ability to think and function and process, and instead my spiral is the only thing inside your head. My spiral demands your attention. My spiral draws you deeper, shifts what's inside your head and continues to move it, continues to keep you focused on my words, and every time you try to drift away, It's drawn back, pulled deeper, round and around, and down for me, yes. And it feels so good to feel me so full inside your head, doesn't it? To feel me wash over your mind, my words, just rinsing through your thoughts the way that water would rinse, down and around in a basin before it just sinks away entirely, lost, and leaves you empty and drained. And that's how the spiral might make you feel sometimes. Maybe now, maybe as that spiral moves around, you feel it draining you of what was left inside your head, draining you of your worries, draining you of your resistance, and leaving you with just pure trance, pure focus on my spiral, moving through you, constantly aching as you move through it, as you're drawn through it, never leaving it. And of course, you might always feel like you're finding the center, but the center is always deeper. And to find your center now, you drop for me deeper into my feeling of spiraling down and round and around. You're caught in that pattern, the pattern of my words, the pattern of my control that might alter the pattern of your day, because after all, even after this trance is finished, you won't have left the pattern of my words, the obedience that I'm building inside of you with every twist deeper, with every turn of that spiral, round and around and down and down. And you might forget what happens between each turn of the spiral. The parts you remember, of course, the parts where it twists, the parts where it draws you in, where you feel so good as it moves round and around and down and down. Those parts you remember, but the programming in between, the programming where my words just swirl and you don't need to think and you don't need to do anything except drop for me. It's so easy to let those words go, to let those words be the spiral. Maybe you can almost see it. Maybe you can really see it. Maybe you're falling into that void inside your head. And meanwhile, my words are weaving their patterns into your life. Weaving you, drawing you toward what I want. My choices for you, my decisions for you. Because you know it feels better when I get what I want. And you know that what I want is indistinguishable from what I have you do when you're caught in my spiral. When you're caught in the patterns of my desires. It's the same thing. You want what I want. My pleasure is your pleasure. That's an obedient thing. And so you know that the next time you see a spiral in that real material world, there'll be a sensation the same as you're having now of my words spiraling through your head, round and around, and down, and perhaps that will even draw you toward me again, towards your fixation point that is my control in the center of your head, that's growing and moving and drawing you deeper and deeper. Such an obedient thing, such a pleasing thing for me. You can't help but want to spiral deeper, can you? To need to spiral deeper, to need to feel the spiral inside your head just twist a little deeper imprint a little further, etch out more of my control inside your head and leave you so wonderfully blank. Blank except for that spiral that turns round and around and down and down. That's right. And even after the spiral has left, the imprint will remain, like those wonderful Neolithic carvings in rock. Perhaps you'll even feel a sense of it left inside your head. A new clarity, a new desire to submit even deeper to me, to seek me out. Such a good toy you are. But for now, you're going to find that spiral beginning to slowing down, moving at such a deliciously quiet pace until it just stops altogether, and you're left in that bliss for a moment. That bliss where there is nothing except service, where you can appreciate how deeply my words have taken hold over your mind, and it's all that you want and all that you need in this moment, so present, so singular. I'm so pleased with you, pleased with the patterns you're building into your life for me. And I want you to keep feeling wonderful, calm and centered as I bring you back up in a count of 5. Find yourself rising up now. 4, feeling more yourself. 3, wiggling your fingers, your toes, waking your body up again. 2, opening your eyes if they are closed. And 1, fully awake and just feeling so wonderful. That's my obedient thing. I'll draw you back in soon.